The Big 12 semis pregame show on the Big 12 Experience, part of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, is brought to you by Cut. Cut is a peer-to-peer social betting platform that's U.S.-based and available in 40 states. Head over to Cut.com. That's KUTT.com. Use that promo code SGPN for a 10% deposit bonus today. We're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Play their fantasy pick'em for a chance to win 100 times in NBA, NHL, college hoops, and more. Sign up today, promo code SGPN to get a 100% deposit match today. And we're brought to you by Champs. Run your own March Madness pool to enter Champs free bracket contests for a chance to win $1,000. Go over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/champs to enter today. And we're brought to you by Hall of Bets, a sports betting research platform for parlays, props, and game lines. Download that Hall of Fame Bets app or visit HOFBets.com. Code SGPN to get 50% off your first month and start making smarter bets today. And welcome, everybody, to the Big 12 College Experience, part of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. Friday, March 15th, semifinal Friday night in Kansas City. Place is going to be fucking jumping at the Power and Light District. If you're in town over there, get on over there, get a spot, because that place is going to be fucking packed, especially with all those crazy-ass Iowa State fans. If you're wondering who you're listening to, I am Moneyline Mac, and we're talking Big 12 hoops. So joining me on the line here, he's a walking contradiction because he was born in Provo, Utah. He's got family in Ames, Iowa, and he lives in Morgantown, West Virginia. None of the three are in the semifinals. He is the co-host of the Ryan and Rush show, Rambling Rush.
Iowa State is.
Yeah, what am I saying? I'm drunk. I'm already drunk. I was thinking of BYU, West Virginia, for Rush. You're right. Iowa State is in the semifinals.
Disregard I'll tell you what. They completely wrong about Texas Tech BYU being a game. Jeez, BYU got their ass kicked. But also, Texas Tech just looked really good, too. It was BYU was flat, and Texas Tech went out there ready to go. So that combination, good things aren't going to happen if you're on the wrong side of that. But, hey, good for Texas Tech.
And third man in the box. You guys know him as the 6-time Zinn champion. Also, he's always fighting a family civil war in Stillwater and Norman. Those teams are not in the semifinals. I can tell you that. Waco, they are in the final or semifinals. He is the green mowing, weed growing, Troy Tuning, aka the Big 12 guru. What's up, bro?
What's going on? I spent the whole day playing golf. Got to play at Laurel Hill and then about 5 rounds on the simulator. Oh yeah. Every day, especially when it gets nice out here. But it's time to lock in and fucking close the doors and stare at the TV all night long. So we got a lot of good games, even outside the Big 12. I mean, it's the best time of the year, but here I am sitting watching golf instead.
It is the best time of the year. I got the quad box going right now. I got Conference USA. I got the American, Big Ten, SEC, and on the other TV, I even got a little swaction going on. So we got 5 games currently going on. Big East is also going to have their semifinals. The ACC has their semis. The Mountain West has their semifinals. I'm trying to think. Pac-12 has their semifinals. The final semifinals for them, and then of course the best league in the land, the Big 12. So it's going to be an action-packed evening in college basketball. This honestly is probably the best night of the season in terms of quality. Last night or yesterday was the day of quantity. I think you had 50 games of just 4 games in each league nonstop. But now you really dial into the semifinals mixed in with the quarterfinals of the Big Ten, the SEC, and Conference USA and the American. So we're really getting down to the nick of things. I said last night on the College Basketball Experience, we only have 24 games on the schedule tomorrow and 6 on Sunday. So after tonight, there will only be 30 college basketball games till March Madness. So enjoy them while we have them. You're going to blink and it's going to be over. So, but anyway, let's talk about the 4 games yesterday real quick. Just a quick recap. I know a lot's happened. People probably don't even remember last night. Tech rolled BYU in the first game. Already alluded to it. Houston started out with a big run, and they held on. Kind of just choked TCU out. Iowa State rode that fan base and carried the momentum, got the revenge on K-State. And then in the nightcap, Baylor was able to get away from Cincinnati late and cruise. So all chalk, all 4 favorites covered. Troy, thoughts on the Big 12 yesterday?
Well, more importantly, I know I slept through the show before you guys picked these games. And, of course, laid all the favorites like I have for almost 3 straight weeks. More importantly was the night before. The Texas-Kansas State game was one of the worst ref jobs that I've ever seen in my fucking life. There is no way you can call offensive fouls on an offensive player away from the ball just fighting down low in the post, and you say that, like, his elbow got too far into the guy's chest. That game Texas was going to win that game by 15 points. And the referee went out there and took Dylan Dessou completely out of the game and allowed Arthur Kalumba to have any kind of freedom. And again, even though I locked it up on the show, watching Texas lose does not upset me at all. I just wanted to note that the refereeing in that game was pretty weird. Calling the intentional foul at the end, that was
terrible.
The dude tripped. The dude got touched on the hip and fucking tripped, and the referee immediately came over and called they didn't even look at anything. What kind of bullshit is that? And then, of course, all that happens in Asmus makes 2 threes in the last 3 possessions of the game that without that intentional foul, we're going to overtime. But, at least Texas lost, I guess. They don't get to win the Big 12 on their way out, which why didn't we have those referees in the football championship and, give Oklahoma State 4 free touchdowns? That would have been fucking sweet. They still might have lost, but, Last night, all chalk. I was going to say the 2 games in 2 days leading into that might have hurt a few teams.
Cincinnati.
Yeah, you could definitely tell as that game went on that they just were starting to lose their legs and whatnot. And they just don't give the ball to Jizzle James enough. I mean, that's one of the best names in all of college basketball. And it's it's Edgerrin's son. So, the guy understands the high level of competition that's necessary for all of this stuff. Give that motherfucker the ball more. I just don't get it, but we'll see if Texas Tech stays hot. That's the one that is very, very, I don't think it's like out of the norm, but they were getting a little cold and then showed up scorching hot to the Big 12 tournament. So you never know. I mean, in March, all it takes is 2 more guys on the bench to believe a little bit more, and it changes everything. So crazy time of year, but not really surprised with anything that happened last night. Tonight is the real test, I would say, for all of these teams.
Yeah. Officiating has been fucking dreadful this entire tournament. I feel like especially our league, Rush. I'm watching they don't go to the monitor as much in these other leagues as our league. I don't know what it is. But what are your thoughts just on the last couple days, especially yesterday?
Yesterday, and we see this, right, across all sports. We always talk about, like, NFL, for example, right? The wild card round will be great. Then the divisional round will be kind of and I think that's kind of what we got with the past 2 days with the 4 games yesterday, with it just being chalk. BYU, Texas Tech was never really a game. The other ones, Kansas State, Iowa State, it had its moments, but by the way, that was definitely not 50-50 like we thought it would be, right?
No.
We were completely wrong there. Geez,
if I knew it was like that, we would have taken Iowa State if we knew that I knew Hilton Magic or Hilton South to be going. But I thought K-State would bring a little more than they did. If we knew that, we would have taken Iowa State.
No, I would agree with that. But hey, at least we know that moving forward. So with all that being said, I think there is something about the semifinals in conference where you kind of get the best of it, and looking forward to tonight, because I think these 2 games, I think they're fantastic matchups, and I think we're going to give everyone given their all.
Yeah, you got 4 really, really good coaches too. You got Obviously, Kelvin Sampson, who's arguably the best coach in the country. Scott Drew, national champion. Otzelberger, we talk about the job he's done. And Grant McCaslin, what he's done. The Otzelberger and McCaslin are like the up-and-coming next wave of really good coaches, like what Scott Drew was and Bill Self was. So 4 really good coaches, 4 really good fan bases, 4 really good teams that all could, I think, go deep in March. And let's talk. We'll talk each game. We'll dive into the 1 versus 4 matchup here on the other side. But first, we got to talk about Merch Madness. 15% off everything in merch store. Promo code Madness. I love Merch Madness. I got this ball cap via Merch Madness. So get on over there. We got shirts everywhere. First half unders. It's March Madness. So you're going to want to hammer these unders, especially in the first half. Eat shit pit when Carolina sends her ass home and to the NIT. Got Pick Dundee shirts. Got a little bit of everything. So get on over there. SGPN store, 15% off the merch with the code Madness. We're also brought to you by Cut. Cut is a peer-to-peer social betting platform that's U.S.-based and available in 40 states. Go head-to-head with whoever you want to do. Put your money where your mouth is. Download that Cut app today in the App Store or at cut.com and use that promo code SGPN for a 10% deposit today. One that I like, right? I like the Johnnies here tipping off, getting 9.5 outside of the Big 12. I won't give you my Big 12 play, so we go into it. But, give me the Johnnies, plus 9.5, Slick Rick Pitino, defensive adjustments against the Huskies. I'm looking forward to watching that one here, tipping in and out. So get on over there to Cut. We're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy, the easiest way to play alongside your favorite players all season long. Troy, anything cooked up on the old dog, Underdog Fantasy?
We do. And if anybody tailed our 6X the other night, Dylan Mitchell, with 32 seconds left in the game, grabbed his 6th board to bang the $600 on our Underdog 6X. So we're running it back with another 3 picks. We're going LJ Cryer higher on his 14.5. We get to March, and the dudes that have any kind of experience are always going to be the ones that you lean on. So that leads right into me also going Ray J. Dennis higher on his 12.5 points. And then we're going out of the Big 12 here. Zion Pullen for the Florida Gators set at only 7.5 first half points. We're going higher on that one as well. You know me, only pick hires. I'm always higher. So
you heard it, man. Get over there and get higher with the Big 12 guru, aka Troy Tuning, and use that promo code TCESGPN to get a % off your deposit today. All righty, we are back on the Big 12 College Experience semifinal number 1 in the Sprint Center, Kansas City. The Texas Tech Red Raiders coming in red hot, winners of 4 in a row, are taking on obviously the hottest team in college basketball, the Houston Cougars, number 1 in the country. This line opened up at 7.5, and now it's at 10.5. The over/under is set at 132.5. These two teams only played one time this season. It was in Houston. Houston won by 23. So you got 2 hot teams coming in here. If you're going to hang with Houston, you're going to have to make some perimeter shots. TCU had some wide open shots yesterday that they could not capitalize off of. I think Texas Tech will make shots tonight. I think Texas Tech will have the crowd too because of Iowa State. I think they're able to muck it up as well. I think this is a low scoring, both teams off back-to-back war. And I trust the veteran backcourt of Toussaint and Isaacs to keep this thing within striking distance. I think Houston will win. I think Houston's going to go to the title game. But give me the Cyclones. Not the Cyclones. The Cougars to win. And I like the under here. So give me the Red Raiders plus 10.5 and give me that under 132.5. Troy?
See, the biggest thing that stuck out to me in that TCU game is that they took 21 more shots and had 17 more rebounds than Houston and got beat by 15. So
they couldn't throw it in the ocean.
Yeah. And it might just have something to do with the pressure of knowing that you're playing Houston and that every time you get a wide open shot, you pretty much have to make it because most of the time you're getting closed out and contested pretty hard. Texas Tech dies tonight pretty hard. I'm laying the points with Houston here. I would lean to the over a little bit. I think Houston's going to score a little bit. Texas Tech is going to be a little too concentrated on trying to go quick, and they might play right into the hand of Houston and turn the ball over a little bit too much. But when you've got Jamal Shed and LJ Cryer, two super duper experienced guards, I'm not picking against you in March. And the reason why this has been bet up to 10.5 is because Houston is that much better. Now, again, I don't know if this is going to be the lock of the night out of the two games, but I'm laying the points here. I think Houston might smash everybody. I'm not even there's a reason why they were minus money to win the tournament, because they are, if they're not the best team in the country, they're the second best team in the country. So the way they play defense, how hard they rebound, and well, at least I guess not that hard against TCU, but how hard they, exert themselves is just another level compared to all the other Big 12 teams from what I've seen. There's nobody else going out there giving, every single second, diving on the floor all the time the way that Houston does. So I feel more confident laying points with them.
I'm going to join the Texas Tech train here with you, Ryan. I think 10.5 is too much. The hook is what's doing it for me. 10 or less than, 10 or less than I would be going Houston. I agree. I think Texas Tech is more capable of making shots that the one TCU couldn't make the previous night. I think this Texas Tech team, what I saw against BYU, I haven't seen that Texas Tech team, I felt like, all season. Like throughout, they played a complete game. And since there's no rest advantage here, everyone started playing yesterday. I think they're going to take that momentum into this game. Now, will it last the whole game? Probably not. Houston will pull away late, but 10.5 seems like too many points for me. I'm going to take Texas Tech plus 10.5. And Kennedy is on Texas Tech as well.
There's a chance that Texas Tech scores like 29 points in the first half.
My prediction 66-60.
That
or 67-60. Houston advances 67-60. You got a score prediction, Troy?
I'll go like 75-61 Houston.
Rush?
I'll go 72-63 Houston.
72-63. All right, so we all got Houston in the championship.
You guys should bet the exact spread at 7.
It opened at 7.5. The thing just land right there on 7 where it opened, baby. It's inflated right now. So let's talk Iowa State and Baylor, but on the other side, because first we got to talk about everyone's little leprechaun, baby, because it's freaking St. Patty's Day. The Shamrock Shavers are out. Manscaped. This year, you don't have to chase rainbows. Make your own pot of gold and groom your little leprechaun with the leaders below the Kilt Care package. Say goodbye to your clover fluorescents and say hello to Manscaped Lawnmower 5.0 and let your confidence shine bright. Embrace the luck of the Irish. Join over 10 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped. Head over to manscaped.com and use that promo code SGPN to get 20% off your free shipping. I cleaned up today. Beard was getting a little long. Got to clean up before going to Viva Las Vegas to do some shows at the Wynn and Circus. So get on over there. Make sure you're leprechaun or whatever you want to call your little friend, and make sure you're all clean up. So get on over there. SGPN, 20% off at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping too. That's key. Free shipping. Can't forget that. Code SGPN at manscaped.com. St. Patty's Day. Make sure your little hairy leprechaun is luckier than ever with Manscaped. We're also brought to you by Champs. Champs is hosting a free March Madness bracket contest for a chance to win $1,000. Plus, if you host your March Madness pool on Champs, you'll get an extra free entry into the bracket contest. Tiebreakers are determined by who enters, so make sure you enter early and head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/champs. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/champs. We're also brought to you by Hall of Fame Bets. Win bigger by betting smarter this NBA season with Hall of Fame Bets, the sports betting research platform for parlays, player props, and game lines. Stop betting in the dark and join over 30,000 users researching with Hall of Fame Bets to craft a more intelligent, data-driven parlay. Download that Hall of Fame Bets app or visit HOFBets.com. Code SGPN. Start winning. Start researching. Start winning with Hall of Fame Bets. Game number 2 at the Sprint Center. Estimated time of 9:30 Eastern. Obviously, it'll be depending on when we get the conclusion of the first game of Houston and Texas Tech. Iowa State is laying 1.5. You can actually shop around and get a 1 if you would like. Most places it's 1.5. They only met one time this year. Baylor held on to win 70-68. That was a hell of a game that we all remember. The shot where Iowa State made it at the buzzer, but it still was in his hand.
Say his name. Pronounce his name, Ryan. Say his name.
I don't even pronounce his name. I can't.
I'm surprised you haven't just started calling him Mom yet.
Huh?
Just call him Mom.
Milan.
Double M.
Milan. Mama
Eminem.
He's from the Midwest, baby. He's a 6'8" freshman. He strokes it. I'll tell you whose name I can pronounce is Lipsy and Gilbert. Those guys are fucking unbelievable. They were unbelievable the other night. But, all right. So, anyway, back to what we're talking about. Iowa State, Baylor. It's going to be a home game for the Iowa State Cyclones. This also was a game that Scott Drew got ejected, which was a fucking joke.
Missed free throw screwed the spread.
Yeah. I will take Iowa State, obviously. I think Iowa State's going to win the tournament. Am a little worried about them winning by 1. I'm not going to lie. So take the money line. Take the money line. I'm seeing it at -115. I think they'll just be able to guard the shit out of Baylor here, and they have a little bit of the rest advantage. A couple hours here. I usually like to fade teams that finish the nightcap after midnight the night before. I know they don't play till 9:30 Eastern. But yeah, I'm on the Cyclones in that building with that crowd. The way that they're playing defense, this is their tournament in my opinion. So Cyclones drag it in the mud, get it done, and another under. I lean to the unders this time of year. I mean, these teams know each other so fucking well. So give me the Clones.
If this is a close game, you're going to see a ref job in favor of Baylor, and I do believe it's going to be a close game. Give me a 1.5 with Baylor. If this was -6.5, I'm laying it with Baylor. Iowa State, Taman Lipsy, pretty good player. Having to guard the 4 separate guards that Baylor has that can all switch off on you, and man, you're just going to get worn out. I'm starting to think that Baylor can win this tournament, especially if they get matched up with Houston again. They're one of the only teams that could shoot the ball over the top of Houston's defense and beat them. And I think they can do the same to Iowa State. Iowa State's going to have to score. This game, whoever wins this game is going to have to get 83 or more points. This is going to be a nuts scoring game in my mind. I would hammer the over in this one because – like we have talked about for Baylor, the super intense defense just isn't quite there. But they can score the basketball and they shoot really well. I would think it's, 84-79 in favor of Baylor or something like that. One of these games, Jacoby Walter is going to get hot and it's going to be scary. It's going to look like Raekwon. And at that point in time, there'll be, a 6-minute period where you just can't do anything about him. You just hope that comes late enough in the game where the turnovers that he will 100% give up aren't happening in the last 2 or 3 minutes of the game. If Baylor's not making shots, I could see Iowa State sneaking this one out just because of that. Like, we've seen Baylor kind of not execute at the end of games, and especially in the regular season game, they just miss free throws. I don't know if that's going to happen again, and I don't know if the coach getting thrown out of the game is going to occur again, and they're going to have to go through a 13 point run and then still try to fight back to win the game. Baylor's playing the best basketball that they've played in the last 3 weeks of the year than they have all year long. They're scary. I mean, they've got everything you need in terms of experience and kind of a big physical big man and guard play. They're that, stereotypical March team right now. And again, it just comes down to intensity on defense, which Iowa State's going to have. But if Baylor they don't have to match it. But if they can get anywhere near that, I think they win this game somewhat comfortably. I'll definitely take the points with Baylor.
Ooh. I think this is going to be a low-scoring game. And so I think if you're on the over, like Troy said, you pick Baylor. I think we're going to see a classic Iowa State defensive job here. I think Iowa State's winning this game, and I think it's going to be ugly. I agree with you, Ryan. I'm going to lay the points with Iowa State. More likely, I'll be picking the money line with Iowa State. Like we said, too close to call here. Kennedy's with us. So
if you're laying the 1.5, you got to take the money line.
Yeah, I'm taking.
You got to bet. You got to bet both for the sole purpose of when this game is a 1-point game, you're not fucking kicking yourself because there's the difference in the juice is not there. You can squeeze both of those oranges.
I'll go 66, 67, 65. 67, 65. Baylor gets it. No, I'm feeling 68, 65. 68, 65. That's going to be the winning score. Troy, what's your prediction on the score?
83-79. You guys are crazy. There's going to be a lot of scoring in this game.
66-60.
63-60. All right. There 66. We go.
66-60.
Oh, 66-60. All right.
He's going to outline Iowa State 5.5.
No, I'm not.
No, I'm taking the money line. All right, lock and dog. Lock Iowa State money line. I'm buying the juice. I'm not fucking putting it in the hands of a backdoor 3. Troy, your lock.
Houston minus 10.5 is going to be my lock. It's the biggest spread, and that's the only way I've been winning locks the last second half of the year. So we'll stick with the homemade system.
I'm going to lock. What's the over-under in the Iowa State game, Baylor game?
134.
I'm locking the under.
Okay. Locking the under. Dog. I'll moneyline parlay Houston and Iowa State together. That'll be my dog.
Dog Baylor.
I'll join you on the dog, Ryan. That makes sense. Dog. Yep. Parlay both of them.
All righty. Big 12 semis. They tip at 7 Eastern. ESPN. Get on over there. The best damn league in the land. Can't wait to watch these 4 teams. Sorry,
I said dog, Tibbles.
Yeah. I am Moneyline Mac. He's Troy Tuning. He's Rambling Rush. We are the Big 12 College Experience. We'll talk to you later. Make sure you're subscribed and make sure you subscribe to the main Sports Gambling Podcast. And everything, the college basketball experience. We're live later tonight. We will see you guys later. Moneyline Mac, Rambling Rush, Troy Chun. We are the Big 12 Experience, and we are out of here.